Seth Thomas. First of all, Seth, I kind of just want to talk to these guys a little bit about why do we give a rat's ass what you think? Because you may not know him, you may know him, but
I'm not known in the Corvette world, maybe the BMW world.
Right. So there might be some stuff. We need to show the people like kind of why, because like I can get out there and drive the car pretty decent, whatever. But why are we kind of pulling you in? So kind of just tell everybody a few things you've done in the car.
So I've driven professionally since 2004. I've driven World Challenge, IMSA, Continental Tire, Rolex 24 a couple times, and I guess my claim to fame, I won the first Continental Tire race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And I've been doing this for 13, 14 years. I've helped develop a few cars along the way, mostly in the BMW front. But it's good to get a good baseline of this car and see where we are.
Yeah.
And put my 14 years of professional racing experience to the test.
So this is the Sissio Performance road race development car, okay? My good buddy John bought the car, we're using it together, and basically I'm just doing anything I want with the car, as much as I want, and keeping it as long as I want. So it's really just mine, but don't tell John that. So, but yeah, so we brought it just to be able to come out here and develop it so that we could develop our packages for Sissio Performance, okay? So what we need first, baseline. Thoughts about the car, what does it need, what does it need to do better, and how can we kind of make that happen for the consumer. So my initial thoughts, I only got 3 or 4 laps, is the car is way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was shocked too. I mean, the car straight out of the box, super easy to drive on a conservative fast lap, and you can toss it around and it still goes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the same exact thing, which is kind of how I felt like in the car in general when I first got in it, just to drive it. It's like, wow, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be, because I'm used to really fast GTRs.
I haven't even driven one on the street yet.
Okay, well, all right, well, I think you'll feel the same way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess just give us some impressions of what you thought of the car, and then maybe what you thought of some of the deficiencies. What was good, and what small things would be really big leaps to make it better.
Okay. Yeah, it's simple. So I've driven, multiple C5, C6s, C8, or this is the first C8 chassis, but C5, C6, C7 Corvettes. The one thing, that was always scary about those cars was rear grip, especially, out here on the road course. Like, they made good power, they had a good torque band, but the rear grip always, as a professional, I always wanted to leave the traction control on when I'm driving somebody else's car.
Sure. It's like I always felt that way in that and a Viper.
Yeah.
Those two cars are like, I'll just leave that button right there.
we're good here.
Yeah.
Versus like Porsches and BMWs, it's the first thing I turn off when I get in the car. With this car, I was really amazed at like how it puts the power down, how it does, coming out of the corner entry. The balance of the car was really, I was impressed. I was shocked. Just initial balance.
Yep.
Then braking capability with the stock Z51 package brakes on it, the non-carbon brakes.
Yeah.
It was pretty good too.
Yeah.
The brake-by-wire took me a little bit to get used to of how to come onto the pedal, but it wasn't that different. It was a little bit more sensitive than what I'm used to with a typical hydraulic system.
Yeah.
The other thing, really, and then so to take it from there, like kind of the deficiencies of the car, it's soft. It's when we're going into the corners, when I turn it into the corner, what we get is you feel the rear kind of lifting up. You feel, which hurts rear grip a little bit, hurts front grip, but it's pretty stable at the same time,
right?
Which is nice. I wasn't worried about the rear coming out from under me, but I think it creates a little bit of understeer the way that it rises up and the rear's leading the front kind of a deal.
One of the things that you find, like I found a little bit of push and stuff like that, and you find that in turns like 4 and
yeah,
like that.
Well, and part of it too is since the engine's sitting here in the middle of the chassis, now, if this is the car, when it was in the front of the chassis, your pendulum is here. Well, now we've moved it to here, so part of the reason it still has grip and does well is because this is how the car rotates instead of rotating it here. With it, like I said, it's soft. So it's moving around a lot, and you have to anticipate how it's going to move. And so for me, it could definitely benefit from throwing, like a set of shocks on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know about spring rates and stuff yet, but I know shocks will help because now we can get the chassis a little bit more balanced. And we can control some of that pitch and heave in the transitions. And when you put it on a road course, you want a car that's going to be flat. It's going to feel confidence inspiring. And right now, I can work around it, but you're kind of like, I don't really want to push this envelope too much more. Versus with a set of shocks, I think the comfort level will go way up, and we can push. We can feel like we can push the car a little bit more because our confidence is higher.
Yes, and that's an awesome point, and he knows this already, but we've already developed a set of shocks with MCS. That's kind of our first modification, obviously, with a road race car. That's kind of one of the first big things. You know, if the brakes have deficiencies or shocks, then you kind of go to aero and so on and so forth. So we've already developed that package. We will be testing that out, and we're pretty excited about it. We've got all the spring rates set, and we're going to just be doing some engineering and some developing on that. And I'm very excited about that. As he said, when I was driving the car a little bit, you just get a little uneasy, right? When the car's transitioning, it's just that kind of set before it takes that set, and we're going to try to dial that out. Because what we're trying to do, we want to make your normal everyday driver, not your pro driver, but your normal everyday driver like me or like John that owns the car. We want to make that driver more confident in the car. That's the whole goal, right? Like, make him so that driver is more confident, can drive faster with confidence, and feel like the car is underneath him, and not feel like it's wiggling around all over the place, and he's got to kind of figure out how to stick the tire.
Yeah, right now that's the problem from a confidence standpoint. Really, it's the movement of the car. Like it's not losing grip, but just the way the chassis rolls and moves, it's moving just a little bit too much what you want for a performance car.
Right.
Like,
and so we're digging into it a little bit, but again, like we said in the beginning, I'll kind of come full circle. For a car that's a base model car on street tires, that is a very good time.
well, especially at this price point. I mean, you're in most like GT3 category.
Right.
At that point.
Right.
So
exactly.
yeah, it's quick.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. And yeah, I bet you put the same exact tires on the GT3, and you're getting around there, especially the .1. It's right around that time, that kind of time frame out here, and that's an upper echelon car, right? Obviously, it's double the price or more, some of them. So yeah, so while we're digging into the suspension a little bit, because we're going to try to sell it to you later, but it's very, very impressive, 100%. I was shocked. I didn't time myself, but I don't think I got anywhere near 34, but whatever, that's okay.
He was 35.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I was running 45, so that's okay. So that's it. We just wanted to bring this to you. We're going to do some more. Seth's here all the time. We're all good friends. We hang out in Atlanta together, and we're up here all the time with the driving club. So we're going to do more of these videos. We're going to bring you more data, more information. Please ask as many questions as you possibly can. We're going to put this on the forums. We're here to help. We want to know these cars better than anybody in the world so that we can help you. Now, yes, of course, we want to sell packages and be able to make money, put food on the table, but we want to be able to help you guys and have that knowledge base and be that industry leader. So we appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. Appreciate you, Seth.
Yeah, thanks for having me out.
Absolutely. We're gonna do it again with the MCS shocks on it next time. Thanks, guys.